Cynthia Erivo joins the panel on Movie Week for Strictly Come Dancing 2025, where our 13 dance couples competed once again in the Strictly Ballroom as they performed timeless classics from all-time great movies. And in the end, one couple was unfortunately eliminated and had to go home. And it was just a brilliant, brilliant episode. Honestly, I think one of my favourite weeks so far on Strictly. Anyways, we've got a lot to talk about this week's recap and review of Movie Week for Strictly Come Dancing 2025. So let's get straight into this week's review. So, as you guys know, it was Movie Week this time on the Strictly Ballroom, as we had Cynthia Erivo joining the panel this week, which was fantastic. I absolutely love Cynthia Erivo. She's honestly, I think she's criminally underrated. And the first time I remember seeing her was in Jesus Christ Superstar, where she played the main character in that, and she absolutely nailed that role. And her voice is absolutely immaculate as well. Honestly, such an underrated celebrity in my opinion. She's just so incredible. And of course, she's in Wicked as well, which is brilliant. And she's just a world class person as well. Amazing. She's just brilliant. But anyways, so it was Movie Week where we had our celebrities competing again, and also Stefan actually wasn't in Movie Week because he had a bit of an illness, but he is going to be returning for the next show, which is very exciting, and I cannot wait to see him back again. And it would have been so nice actually to see him do the waltz he was going to do with Diane from Shrek. That would have been fantastic. But anyways, it was a really good episode overall. We had, of course, one person had to go, which was probably the most obvious of the night, in my opinion. Again, this was the same for Thomas Skinner. But still, let's get into this week's review for Movie Week. Starting off the night, we had Amber and Nikita, who performed the American Smooth. I need to get this up. I've got on another thing here. So, if I can find it. So, we had Amber and Nikita doing 16 going on 17, the American Smooth to The Sound of Music, which is an absolute classic movie as well. I absolutely love the movie. And they got a score of 35, a brilliant score as well to open the show with. And I would have given this a 9 as well. I thought it was absolutely amazing and a brilliant start to the show. And I have to say, Amber's quality of movement is absolutely incredible. And it just looks, and she just looks so at home when she moves. And then we have Nikita lifting her as she, as if she weighs no more than like 2 pounds. They even did a bit of choreography. There was some like benches there, and the whole thing felt like very Sound of Music as well. I loved the whole thing, and it was just gorgeous, beautifully choreographed as well. It was really very nicely put together, and definitely their best dance I think they've done so far in the competition. So kudos to Nikita and Amber and just again the way they kind of. And also at the end, they had Amber doing a stretch while riding a bicycle. That was also very, very impressive. So this was a brilliant, brilliant start to the show, and I thought, again, overall, I thought it was an absolutely fantastic routine to kick off the night. Next up, we had Chris and Nadia doing the Paso Doble to "Sweet Child of Mine" by Guns N' Roses from the 4 movie, Love and Thunder. I don't know. I know Marvel. I don't watch the Marvel movies. But they did the Paso Doble to "Sweet Child of Mine" by Guns N' Roses. Their score was a 22 overall. I would have given it a solid 5 overall, I'd say, as a score. I do think I think it's really great to see his progress, to see Chris's progress going up each week is very, very good to see. And, I just think he's definitely getting some improvement as it goes on. But, I do think that it wasn't the best Paso Doble, but you can tell he's putting everything into this routine, which is always, and I've got to give him some credit for that. And yeah, I do think that he has definitely been giving some improvement as it goes on. But I do think he was a bit too careful. Like, I know in the first day of rehearsals, etc. But it really, I don't know if I wouldn't say this was as strong as his samba, but I do think he's definitely showing some signs of improvement, which is definitely really cool to see. And yeah, I definitely give him some props there, and it was an okay performance. I must admit, I was a little bit surprised that Chris and Nadia weren't in the dance off, because they had one couple who went in there, which I was completely shocked about, which we'll talk about a bit later on. But I think this was a fine performance, but I definitely think he could be one of the ones at risk going home within the next episode, I think. Next, we had George Clark and Alexis doing Soda Pop from K-pop Demon Hunters, which, by the way, I've never understood K-pop Demon Hunters. I know Jordan Blue on AGT, he did that song on the AGT final, and that was really good. They did the was it the it was a couple's choice as well. I don't know what sort of dance they were doing, but they got a score of 31. I can just say, Craig was a bit harsh with the 6. I don't agree at all with the 6 he gave to George and Alexis. I thought this was a great performance. I think this deserved a 9 out of 10, and for me, George is like the Robert Irwin of this year. If you don't know, Robert Irwin is currently on Dance with the Stars in America, but the public absolutely loves him, and he just gives us exciting dances week after week that will get him to the all the way, I think. I'm really get impressed by his performances every single week, because that Paso Doble he did in week 2 was absolutely exceptional. It was exceptional, that dance he did that week, and he's just got this real charm to him. I love the whole routine, the costumes, the lifts they were doing, and the one point where they're on a soda pop and the whole floor seemed all 3D. That was a really clever camera work there from that. And then they did some flips, I think, and then we had George do a little holding Alexa up and spinning her around. That was also very good. Was there a point when he did a flip? I can't remember. I could have sworn he did it, but it doesn't matter, because I think this was a great performance, and I still think it was very harsh of Craig to give him a 6. I thought this deserved way more 6. I gave this an 8. I think I gave this a solid 8. It was a great performance overall, and I really, really enjoyed it. Next up, we had Lavoie and Alash, who did a waltz to Feed the Birds from the iconic Mary Poppins, which is a movie I absolutely love. I've seen the movie so many times, and it's an all-time classic of mine. I grew up watching Mary Poppins, and I have to say, it was so lovely to see Lavoie show this side of her and raise against the scores quickly. So they got a score of 28, all 7s around, and I would have given this a 7 as well. I think this was a very good performance as well. And like I mentioned, I love the way it was just so great to see Lavoie show a real vulnerable side to her this week. Because I know she was all about the glitz, the glamour, the glamour, the humor, but to see her and Aliash do this routine, that's really kind of more of a serious side. And I just love the way they played without any of the comedy in it, and we could see how just a lovely, graceful waltz this is that fits the song. And yeah, I just think, again, it was really lovely to see this routine with these two, and I just think to see this serious side of Lavoie was really lovely to see. I really enjoyed the all-around performance as a whole. I definitely enjoyed it. It was just really, really wonderful to see. Really, really wonderful, and just again, I just think she's just one of those people that that could just get better and better, and to see more this side of her is really. And just she's just an absolute entertainer, and she's just brilliant. She's absolutely fantastic. And now we go on to the couple that was eliminated for movie week, and that was Ross King and Joetta, who performed the Paso Doble to the Thunderbirds theme song as a movie I grew up watching, and which I've always loved. They got a score of 19, a 4 from Craig, which I would have given it a 5. I would have gave the 5 like the other judges did, and and just I think we all knew going into this week that that Joe Witter and Ross were the ones probably going home, as just. I mean, I've got to give him some credit for Ross doing what he did, giving it a go, and yeah, I just just it wasn't the best in my opinion. It really was. It was definitely the weakest one of the night, and it was pretty obvious he was going. I felt like his chest was his posture was a bit all over the place. He was a bit stompier at places. But he really fitted the character because that's how the Thunderbirds walk as well with that character, and it was um, and some of the lifts, the little things he did with Joetta at the end was pretty cool, and seemed to stumble a little bit. I felt bad for him there, but it was pretty obvious he would be the one going home, unfortunately. But I got to give him some respect for going out there doing what he did, and I definitely respect him. And you can tell while he wasn't the best, he definitely gave it his all. So that's something I definitely respect. So massive respect to Ross and Joetta. And yeah, gotta give them some credit for doing what they did. And while they're not in the Strictly Ballroom anymore, it was very nice to see them compete like they would, just like they were for the past weeks. And we gotta respect that. So while they're not here now, I'm very glad that we enjoyed Ross for as long as we did. Now we go on to the one that I was shocked that this couple made into the bottom two, and that was Balvinda Sapau and Julian, who performed the Foxtrot to The Way You Look Tonight by Frank Sinatra, which is from Swing Time. And I was absolutely shocked that she was in the bottom two. I thought this was way better than I thought she was way better than Chris Robshaw, in my opinion. So the fact that she was in the bottom two was, I think, ridiculous. It was absolutely madness, in my opinion. So they got a score of 26. I would have given I would have given this a solid 7 out of 10. And she's just, and for me, Balvinda's got this real excellent elegance to him. And after her Charleston, I really had a feeling she was going to be one of those people that would really surprise us as it goes along. And she did it once again, I think, and you could just tell she's giving it all that she has while enjoying the experience to the max. And the whole Foxtrot was really nice to see. I loved the whole idea. Julian was near the piano because I believe that in the movie Swing Time, Fred Astaire is there at the piano. And yeah, the whole routine to see the Foxtrot was really charming to see, and just the way they graced the stage together was really, really beautiful. And it just reminds me of. It really reminds me of Carmen from 2019, where he also danced the Foxtrot to the same song, and it really reminded me of that in a way. So that was really good, and it was really, really nice to see. And again, I'm absolutely gobsmacked that Balvinda and Julian were in the dance off, because I thought they were fantastic. I honestly think for me it's criminal. It's absolute criminal they made the dance off, but at least they're in the competition still, and we can enjoy them for even more. Now we go on to Karen and Carlos, who performed the Cha 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 to She's a Lady by Tom Jones. I can't remember the movie that it's from. I really don't remember. But again, so this got a score of 25. Craig gave it a 4. I mean, Craig, how hard are you to be impressed, my friend? Like, I think that was just madness to give it a 4. I think I don't understand. I really don't understand. I would have given it a 7, like the other judges did. But for me, this was absolutely brilliant. It was brilliant. It was absolutely fantastic. I love the way Karen started off as a security guard, then transformed into wearing a dress. That was a really cool transition. And man, the way she performed this routine, she had this sass to her. Everything was amazing. Then we had Carlos in a Men in Black outfit. That was really, really cool. And my goodness me, this was a just brilliant dance. And yeah, I think this was, I love the whole routine. And I think this was a huge improvement from the tango they did last week. I thought, which was good, but this was another fantastic routine, and her leg and hip action. I do think it could be a bit polished here, but she deserves all the praise for doing this cha 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 that Carlos choreographed beautifully. And yeah, I thought it was a really fantastic routine. And I'm so excited to see what she brings next. And I just think she's going to be another contestant that's going to really, really deliver as the weeks go on. And now we go on to probably the the contestant I was not expecting to do this well, but I was excited regardless. And that was Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank and Lauren Oakley, who did the rumba to No Time to Die by Billie Eilish from the iconic James Bond, and which that suit, by the way, that Jimmy was wearing was fantastic. And let me tell you, this has got to be one of my favorite rumbas ever to be on the show. Like, I thought this was amazing, and so they got a score of 28, a very good score. I actually would have given this a 9. This would have been a 9 for me, and man, honestly, and for a male celebrity to do a rumba like this, not absolutely and just nail it deserves respect, because not only I loved the whole drama of the whole routine, the production value was amazing, but my goodness me, like it just, and Lauren's teaching was absolutely, is just world class. I just again seeing Jimmy doing this rumba this well, and his fluidity of his body with the routine, it was incredible. And oh, this was just an absolute breath of fresh air to watch. And I actually had this at number one of the night, but I kind of had this at joint number one, battling for first and second for the last act of the night, which we'll talk about. But my goodness, how good was this routine? It was fantastic, and honestly, the more I think about it, if Jimmy can really stay at this level where he is, I actually think he could be a real dark horse to be in the finals this year. I actually think he could be a finalist. And if so, I would be huge. I would be extremely excited to see that happen, because I just think he has what it takes. I think he has what it takes to go to make it as a finalist, a potential semi-finalist, quarter-finalist. I just think he has it all. I think he has it all, and I think Lauren is just one. For me, Lauren is one of the best one of the press, one of the best pro dancers at the moment for him. It was so fluid. It was just, honestly, the whole routine. He just, honestly, Jimmy's really turning himself into a really good dancer now, and just wow, I just can't wait. I seriously can't wait for this. I just thought this was a great rumba, and from a former footballer to do this like that is amazing. Just wow. It's wow. Just again, great intense eye contact. I was in there. Everything about this performance was just amazing, and I can't honestly. I still think Jimmy could be one to be a dark horse finalist, which I'm very much hoping that he does. Now we go on to Vicky Patterson and Kai, who performed "A Little Party Never Killed Nobody" by Fergie, and it's from the Great Gatsby. Don't know what that is. They got a score of 25 overall. I'd have given it a 7. I would have given it a 6. Actually, I would have given it a 6. Um, I do think the improvement in her confidence is really growing as it goes along, which is amazing. It was good. It was great, fast, great managed. But I do think that Craig was right. And I do think, you know, um, yeah. Oh, excuse me, a bottle nearly fell over. Um, but I just felt Vicky wasn't, letting loose or having as much fun as she should have on the Charleston. But it was still really good to see her just showing off here. And I do think that she's got huge potential. I still think she's someone that could get better and better as it goes along. And it really was a great performance overall. Like, the only issue I really had, it did feel a bit slow. There wasn't much swivels going on, but it was a delight to watch this performance overall. But I still think she's way better than this, and I do think she can improve. But it was still a really nice performance overall. Now we go on to Ellie and Vito, who did Dance the Night by Dua Lipa, the Samba to Dance the Night by Dua Lipa from Barbie, which is a movie I unfortunately dread. But my goodness me. So the performance started off with her in a box, the Barbie box, and then Vito came out as Ken, which was just, oh man. Honestly, if anyone here doesn't have a big smile on their face when they watch Ellie and Vita perform together, they're not human. They are not human. Like, I just love how she brings her energy, her personality, and sass into the show. And Vito as well. I've mentioned this before. He's not only a great dancer, a great mentor. He's just a caring person. He cares so much for her, which is amazing. Like, this literally reminds me of Chris and Diane from last year, of how like how good their partnership was, and this is it right here. She's got just, my goodness me, her whole whole just amazing. She's just got, both of them got the best personality. The moves they were doing, the way they the glitter was all the shimmeries, or if that's a word, but my goodness me, it was a great, just a great performance for this. And yeah, I just thought it was amazing, an amazing performance. And just seeing Ellie, I think Shirley said that she's probably the most improved contestant so far, which is brilliant. And just, yeah, she's absolutely brilliant, and I can't wait to see more of Ellie and Vito as the weeks go on. Now we go on to Alex Kingston and Johannes, who did the quick step to Suddenly I See by Katie Tunzel from The Devil Wears Prada. And can I just say, the way that Alex was in character was absolutely fantastic. The way she held character through this routine was absolutely just fantastic. So it started off with her kind of like, and then Johannes was there. Then kind of, all the stuff was going on. She wore a pair of sunglasses and all of that, which was very, very nice. And then they did the quick step together. And again, just the way she kind of like, and go for the scores quickly. Alex and Johannes, they got a score of 30. I'd have given this an 8 out of 10 as an overall score. I really enjoy seeing Alex and Johannes together. And every week, I just think she gets more better as it goes along, which is fantastic. And, I just, like, this is literally the perfect blend of dancing and also Alex's acting skills, because she's an actress, of course. The ad libs in the dance were both sharp and humorous, and the whole routine was so well executed. And without any stumbles, there was no like slowdowns or anything. Yes, you could just tell they're having so much fun and hard work they put into the routine, and just honestly, massive respect to both of them. And just the charisma that both Alex and Johannes displayed in the whole routine was so well put together. I absolutely enjoyed every single moment of it. It was just fantastic. Now we go on to Harry and Karen, who performed "I Always Wanted a Brother" from Mufasa, the Lion King movie. They did is it the salsa they did, or was it the samba? I need to. Is that the same thing? The salsa, okay. It was the salsa, okay. So they did that. They got a score of 32 from the judges. I would have given this a 9 out of 10. And because I think he was someone I wasn't expecting to do this well. Like, I honestly can't believe this is the exact same Harry from the first episode, because I absolutely loved it. It was so modern. The choreography was so well put together. It really felt like the African culture of, because I tell you, the culture in Africa is absolutely beautiful, and you could just tell how the culture was beautifully added into this whole routine. And just he, like, for his size, like, he is so, because he's a pretty buff guy as well. He's actually so good for doing this. And wow, this was an amazing salsa, and one of the routines I was not expecting from him. But my goodness, did he do well on this routine? It just, oh my goodness me, he absolutely nailed the whole performance. And just seeing him do this routine with Karen was truly amazing. And just, yeah, I'm really am blown away by this guy, and I just think he is really becoming someone that as definitely one to look out for. And I cannot wait to what he does next, because I think next time he's gonna I think he's doing a rumba for the next dance, which I'm very excited to see. So I can't wait to see what that brings. But it was once again another fantastic performance from Harry and Karen. And now we go on to the final performance of the night and the best dance of the night, without a shadow of a doubt, which was Lewis and Kat, who performed the Paso Doble to the Plaza of Execution from the Mask of Zorro. And I'm honestly don't know what else to say other than this was for me not only the best performance of the night, but this is the best dance of the best performance of the whole series so far. This was what I call a 10 out of 10. They got a score of 37, and they received the very first 10 out of 10 of the season from Motzi, which was amazing. I would have given this a strong 10. I would have given it a huge 10 here. It was my goodness me. I like this is the example of what happens when the music, costume, concept, choreography, and production all works and can complement each other in the same routine. This is what you get. And he absolutely stole the night with this routine. His fluidity, his movements was exceptional. The way, and they used a sword as well for the routine, was incredible. And oh, everything for this performance was absolutely top notch from start to finish. And can I just say that mask that he was wearing? It kind of reminded me of the Highwayman from the book, the Highwayman. If you know what that is, but oh wow, like I've got nothing else to say, and this is why we need ringers on Strictly, because look at these type of dances, because that you would miss out on otherwise, because oh my god, this was like I'm gonna say this now. I would be amazed if he does not win this series. Because for me, now three performances in, he is now, I think, solidified himself to be the one to beat. I actually think he might take home the whole competition. He was just exceptional, and wow, just again, I would be amazed if he's not a finalist by the end of this year, because he is just a world class. He's absolute world class, and I can't wait to see what he does, because I just know he's going to do another epic performance. And this was such a well deserved 10 out of 10 for the first series, for the first 10 of the series from Motze, an incredible routine. And yeah, I think I've just found my new pick, my official pick to win the whole thing this year. So there you have it. That was movie week for Strictly Come Dancing 2025. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree on who went home, and do you agree who was on the dance in the dance off? Let me know your thoughts as well. Tonight is also going to be week 4 for Strictly, which is very exciting. Stefan and Diane are going to be returning, which is amazing, and I cannot wait to see them perform again. But thank you so much for listening to this review. If you enjoyed it, please let me know your thoughts in the comments below, or what you thought of the night, and I'd love to hear your feedback. But once again, thank you so much for listening to this review, and of course, I will see you guys next time.